Okay, Eugene, thank you for your email. It helps me piece together what's happened here. And I think one of the main problems is that we have not been meeting regularly. And so I think we need to start doing that. But let's review. Now, I've looked at my records, and in the spring, summer of 2024, so almost actually over a year ago, uh, you and I started a directed studies course that was meant to be a scoping review of international uh, online, Gen AI and online learning with international students. Now, at that point, I did give you the scoping review guideline to help you create this because we were going to write a paper. However, that didn't turn out. As you know, the review, the articles you found, whatever was compiled, weren't appropriate, and so we did not pursue that scoping review. Now, and this should be your primary focus because we are behind a little bit. It doesn't really matter, but we are focusing on the candidacy exam. So the thesis proposal and the guidelines for that are here. And so I will just put that in yellow. And those are the guidelines you need to follow, not the scoping review files, because we are no longer writing a paper on this. If we were, then what you sent could work actually, and you should keep it because we may actually write a scoping review at this point. But right now, what you need to do is focus on the elements of the thesis proposal, which are the introduction, the literature review, and the method. Those are all critical. Now, I know that you are working on the literature review, and that's fine. And I can give you feedback on that. But as your supervisor, I need to see an introduction before we go to the literature review. The introduction is critical. It's usually somewhere between 8 and 10 pages. It's not that long, but it's absolutely critical for the basis of your thesis. That comes before the literature review. So, which is why I had thought we were getting an introduction to the um, the actual thesis that you're doing. Now, yes, there is an introduction to a scoping review if you're writing a peer review article, but there is no introduction to a literature review when you're writing a thesis. Those are different things. And I've given you the guidelines for a literature review here. Okay, so next steps for me anyway, are, or for you too, is to write the thesis uh, proposal introduction. That's essential. You can sort out and organize your literature review. I know you're doing that. But literature reviews don't, what you don't want to be doing is after your introduction saying, oh gosh, you know what? I've got to redo my literature review because my introduction is pointing me in a different direction. I'm pretty sure we're in the right direction. And, but the next step is to write the introduction. And I will send you a meeting request so we can discuss this. But we've got to get back on track. Okay?